Hi everyone, welcome back to Project Happy Home. For those of you who are new here, I'm Tanya, a doctor, lawyer turned homeschool mom of 3 kids ages 14, 11, and 9. If you are interested in videos about secular homeschooling, raising a child with ADHD, and living a more essentialist lifestyle, you have come to the right place. So be sure to hit that subscribe button down below the video and the notification bell in case you don't want to miss any videos, though I think the notification bell is super annoying in full disclosure. I post videos kind of irregularly though, so it actually probably makes a lot of sense for a channel like mine if you don't want to miss any new videos. The channel has over 400 videos, so if you haven't checked out my playlist, be sure to do that. I will link them in the description box down below for the planner series. One of my passions is planning, and so I have several videos on how I have planned for both homeschool and my life in the playlist called Plan With Me. And if you need any inspiration, be sure to check that out. I was a Hobonichi Techo loyalist for many years, so I have several planners videos on that. A few years ago, though, I discovered the Roterunner Planner, the Purpose Planner. I was really trying to minimize how many books and planners I was using, really just trying to pare back on everything. And I have loved using this planner for the last, I would say, year and a half now. I think this is my third one. And it's a 6-month planner. You can get them in hardback or softback. I got the hardback edition. It comes with this rubber band and 2 bookmarks. And if you wanted to see a detailed layout of this larger version of the Roterunner, I have that linked in the description box down below as well. I'm not going to go through this one too much because it's all written in and has personal information, but I wanted to show you one of my favorite features of the planner is that after every single week, there is this blank page layout that you can write anything on. So if you wanted to make daily lists for yourself, you can. It's designed mainly as a monthly and weekly planner, but every single week is followed by a 2-page blank spread. So you can make these into daily task lists. You can write down just travel plans. Like, for example, I think I was going to write a packing list here and then I did not. And every weekly layout is very complete. And again, if you want to see this in more detail, definitely check out the video down below. There is 7 days of the week and they're unlabeled, so you can set it up any way you want. Like, you can start with a Sunday start or a Monday start, however it makes sense to you. There's these little focus bubbles at the top and at the bottom for AM and PM focus, and little water trackers. There's a breakfast, lunch, dinner, and I think snack column. There's a notes box for any like addresses or notes that you have to put in. There's a gratitude and health section, a habit tracker, a sleep tracker, to buy, not to do, friends and networks, work and career, home and admin, and projects and passion. I love the abundance of space to put different to-dos and different categories already. It's kind of like a bullet journal, but that's already done for you, which is what appealed to me so much about it. Like, it really just saved me a lot of time. I also really like the monthly layouts and stuff, and you'll see that more if you go to that video. But the only problem that I had with this planner is that it was a whole different size than all of the other A5 planners that I used. And I'm a journaler as well, and this didn't really give me space to journal. I suppose you could journal on those blank pages, so it really could be one and done for you. But I like to journal a lot. Like, I have a 5-year diary for journaling, like just thoughts of every day. I also have a regular blank book with Tomoe River paper so that I can journal and paste things in and, like, you know, paste little pictures that the kids draw me and write and complain to my heart's content. So I kind of wanted this book to exist in the same size. And luckily, it does. It comes in an A5 size as well. And if you look right over here, this is my traveler's notebook. I have 2 of these. So I have one for my journal and my 5-year diary, and I have this one for my life books and this planner now, which is so great. I had bought it originally because I used a Jibun Techo, and I like the Jibun Techo, but I didn't love it. What I did love about it, though, is that the Jibun Techo comes with, when you first buy it, this set of books called a life book and an idea book as well. And I think they have a notes book also, but I already had one from Hobonichi, so I just popped those in there. This cover, by the way, is from September Leather, I believe, and I will link them in the description box down below. I bought it from Amazon. It's a remarkably good price. This one, you have to understand, is about 4 years old. I'm going to show you the new one. This is a newer one that I have from them as well, and this holds my journals. It has a slightly different finish after so many years, but this is how they start out. They start out a little bit more dark, I guess, and then it wears down. I like this scratchy, worn down, incredibly smooth finish, so that's what you end up having after a while. It comes with several different bands, so I think this one has, I'm going to say, 4 bands in it to hold any kind of books that you wanted to add, and then it has a band to go around the entire book, as well as a little leather pen loop. So again, this is like at least 4 or 5 years old and has not lost a stitch anywhere, and it's remarkably well priced for a genuine leather traveler's notebook case. This is the Jib and Techo Life book, an idea book. The Life book has a huge variety of different pages, but the idea is that you can keep little trackers of like your actual life. So see, like when I'm 44, 45, you can see I haven't added anything for this year yet. I generally do it at the end of the year. I just sort of review the planner and put in important things, but it goes all the way up to, I think, like your 100th year or something, which I think is cute. And it has other little pages there, like if you wanted to put financial details or an emergency contact list, and then health things and stuff like that, which I'm not going to show you. But there's also an idea book, which is basically just a blank grid notebook like this with a margin line. And I put in things like passwords, doctor visits so that I can track when everybody's last one was, or their heights, weights, sizes, things like that. And I do the same thing with the Hobonichi notebook, which you can see is a little bit bigger than the Jib and Techo notebook, maybe like 3/4 of an inch or so wider. And same thing, it's just a grid notebook, but with no margin lines. So I like having these in place for the things that never change from year to year, or the things I want to have consistently with me, like passwords, you know, addresses, doctor's dates, vet dates, you know, significant health appointments, etc. House expenses, things like that, things that I just want to hold on to, that I don't want to rewrite into a notebook every single year or a new planner every single year. So this setup, having it all in a traveler's notebook, allows me to have that essential information without having to restart it every single year. So this is the A5 size of that notebook. It starts off and it has a cover page which has your contact information on it, but then it has a little notes index, which I love. All of the pages are numbered in the corners, you can see here, so that you can actually create a very detailed index for yourself on those blank pages. So let's say on one of the weekly blank pages, you put in something like your contractor's notes or something like that about something that you're doing to the house. It might be hard to find later, but you can always say that on page 28, you had contractor's notes, and that way you can find it no matter what week you wrote it on. Another thing that they have, and I've already started filling this out, are roles. They have pages for, I believe, 5 different roles that you might have in your life. Instead of roles, I put things like, here there is the homeschooler role, but here's the cutting expenses goal. I kind of used it as goal pages as opposed to role pages. And I'm just going to go through and like put down like what kinds of things I'm intending to do. So for example, for cut expenses, one of them is definitely to cut the phone bill because it has gotten ridiculous. And you can establish your why, list your specific monthly, weekly, and daily tasks that are going to get you there. There is a bucket list page with target dates. There's a reading and entertainment list. This is obviously too short. I generally use these pages for something else because I need way more room than this. I think that gives you about room for 20. Then there's an annual overview. The annual overview pages go on for 6 different pages, so all 12 months, in spite of the fact that this book is actually only 6 months long. So if you'll notice right here in the margins, you can see the delineation of color for the different months. I actually just wrote down July, August, September, October, November, and December right there, because I find that easier to manage than tabs that crinkle and stuff. So truly, the more I plan, the more minimalist I have gotten over the years. The annual dates overview, you can tell, has like the month number, and then you have the 31 days for every single one of them, and you can put anything in there. So I use this for tracking like my menstrual cycle, for putting in any health details or appointments, to know exactly when the last, for example, pediatrician appointment was, etc. It makes it really easy. And then you have a cover page for every single month. The months are just listed as 1 through 6 in these. So you would have to buy 2 of these for a complete year. I actually prefer that because it keeps it nice and compact for me, even though I get all of these blank pages to write in. There's always a quote at the bottom of that page. And then you have the month view. And the monthly view, again, is not dated at all. So you can have a Sunday start or a Monday start. It's really up to you. You can put in all the dates the way you want. There's a note section and a connect section, so people you might want to talk to or write to. And then there's priority tasks for the month. I love the priority tasks section. This is just like in the larger planner, but obviously you have less room. There's work and career, home and admin, projects and self-care, goals and progress, ideas and lessons, and memories created. If you look in the larger planner, these are slightly different because they have like more focused questions in these boxes, but you can look at my review of that in the description box down below if you want to see that. This is a blank page after every monthly spread. Again, this is so useful. Like, for example, if you wanted to create a task list for work or personal for the month, you could do that. You could create a habit trackers for the whole entire month here. There's so many different options for what you can do. You can glue in pictures from the month. I love having an abundance of blank pages in my planner because it keeps it very open-ended and functional. Every single week is numbered. I think every month comes with 5 weeks, I want to say. Yeah. So every single month comes with 5 weeks, going from week 1 to week 5. And you have top 3 goals, a not to-do list, which I really appreciate actually, because as a mother, there's a whole bunch of things I'm trying to like not do also, you know, like not yell or not freak out or not do everything for everybody else. So there's a grateful list, a to buy column, to connect again. And then they have 3 different labeled priority action boxes. They have work and career, home and admin, projects and self-care. And then they have a blank one here. So if you wanted to write whatever you wanted, you could. There's a habit tracker, just like the last larger version, but there's less space for habits. I think the other one has 7 or 8 and this one has 5. And then you have a little tracker here. I kind of like that in this little one, the tracker is not labeled. Like in the big one, it's labeled sleep tracker, which is not so useful for me. But in this one, it's just labeled blank tracker. So you could track anything you wanted on any like number scale too. They left that blank too, which I thought was very thoughtful. They still chose to put this little question in every week, and they change, by the way. So like, for example, this week says, are you making time for relationships? But this week says, do you have a reliable support system? And it's nice to have those reflection questions. I kind of wish they didn't have them just so I could have a little bit more room, but they also include a quote, and they have 7 days of the week here. Just like the larger tracker, they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but they don't have the snack one. They have a little hydration meter down here, and it's interesting because of the room, they made it just 7 instead of 8, I think, which is interesting because you're supposed to have, you know, the saying is 8 glasses of water a day, right? But you can make that mean whatever you want. And then you have a little focus area here, and it runs from 6 to 6. And then you have another plan area here. My day never ends at 6, so I always use this bottom area just for nighttime hours until 9. You can label here what actual week it is or what month it is to keep your stuff clear. And then here you can put the date or the day or both. And there's a little 5-star area to rate your week as well. I don't really rate my weeks. Maybe I should. There's a blank spread after every single weekly layout, you guys. And like I said, you can use those for daily lists if you want. You can use those for your journaling. It really, the layout of this planner works out so well for me. I feel like they kept it blank enough where it's still like a bullet journal, but I don't have to write out any of these things myself, which saves me so much time. And I love that the sides are tabbed so that you can see exactly what month you're going to. And then after the 6th month, you have a selection of blank pages here. I believe you have about 10 or 12 maybe. And then there's a self-care checklist at the very end of the planner. So it's just a yes or no checklist. And it's an interesting thing here that they only put this at the end. I think it would have been interesting to put one at the beginning as well. But you can do this for yourself by just, instead of saying yes or no here, you could make one like January and one June, you know, or whatever month you're in, the beginning, your 1st month and your 6th month, and just kind of reflect and just do a yes column. to see like what kinds of things you're doing. The questions they ask are really good. Like, do I avoid social comparison and focus instead on improving myself? Do I allow myself to receive love from others? Am I present? Do I tell others what they mean to me often enough? You know, have I forgiven those I feel resentful towards? I love the questions that they ask. I think they're very pertinent to happiness and growth. And here there's little productivity tips and things like that, which everyone has heard in every single video. But I do think they picked very good ones, like limit multitasking, follow the Pareto principle, that 20% of your effort delivers 80% of the results. That's one of the reasons I wanted a bullet journal style planner that was already done for me, because I feel like sometimes we get wrapped up in the minutia of setting up a planner and not actually using the planner. And at this point in my life, I only have this much time in my day. So I really appreciate that this is already done for me. There is also a little pocket here where you can put in things. And let me see. Yeah, I saved this. So it's 89 dot grid pages, annual key dates overview, 6 monthly spreads, 30 weekly dashboards. And there's 192 numbered pages. It is A5, which is about 5.8 by 8.3. And it's 100 GSM ivory colored paper with 2 ribbon markers. And I just can't see myself changing from this system for a good long while now, because in combination with my steady, constants, this is like my variables and these are my constants. And I love having them together in one thing. Just to show you, the Traveler's Notebook does come with a pocket in the back, a pocket in the front, and then also like these 3 little card pockets. But yeah, so this is the planner that travels with me, that goes with me where I go. It's really compact and easy to carry. If I wanted to add a couple more of these leaflet books to it, I could if I wanted, but I'm going to try not to. You can also add like clear pockets so that you could slip in like a wallet or money or credit cards, things like that. That's all available for you from companies like on Etsy that make Traveler's Journal inserts like that. Just to show you, this is my Traveler's Notebook for my journals. It's thicker than my Traveler's Notebook for my planners. But it is the same exact product that I bought from Amazon for the actual leather-bound cover. And I only put 2 books in here because I'm only using 2 planners, or 2 journals this year, rather. One is a 7 Seas Tomo River paper dot grid journal, and one is a 5-year journal. You can see that I put 2024 right up there, by Sterling Ink. So I love both of them. I think that they're super functional, and I keep a multicolored pen right there, which I haven't taken the sticker off of because this is the new one. But this is the pen that actually comes with a Hobonichi Techo when you buy them. So I just keep buying them now. It is a Uniball Jetstream 0.38 with 4 colors, and it is the most convenient pen in the world. So if you like really fine nibs, it's a great pen that never leaks and is very, very functional. So if you want to see more details of either of these planners, let me know and I will show them to you in a different video. But I hope that was really helpful, you guys. And if you don't mind the bigger size, again, this is a great planner. It's served me really well for 3 iterations now, so 1.5 years. And I'm excited to see if the little one will do as well for me or not. But I think it will. So I'm really excited to start filling it out now that I've done this video. And if you have any other questions about either of these planners or anything else that I've shown you in this video, be sure to comment down below. And if you have any great tips for, other people who use Traveler's Notebooks, or inserts that you would recommend, or sellers that you would recommend, for example, on Etsy or small shops, let us all know in the comments down below, because planning is definitely a crowdsourced effort. And as always, you guys, I love sharing other channels on here. 2 of my favorite planning channels are Amanda's Favorites and Arlene & Co., because both of them do a great job in showing you planners in detail and giving you discounts and really sharing their honest opinions about what they think of the layouts and the paper quality and pen tests and all of these things. So in terms of pen tests, because I don't think I mentioned it, the Roterunners actually use take pens and ink really well. Like, for example, this is written with a Sharpie felt tip fine nib pen, and you can see there's like barely any ghosting. I mean, barely, right? So it takes, I think, a very thick, very dark pigmented pen really well. I also use mild liners in them with no issue whatsoever in terms of bleed or anything. So I think it can handle most pens. But yeah, I hope this was helpful for you guys. As always, thank you so much for your time. I realize that it is valuable, and I really appreciate it when you spend some of it with me. And I wish you the very best day.